Well, those mornings really are becoming quite dark. It's about, whoa, coming up to 8 o'clock, but yeah, it's not fully light. You can feel winter. Right. In through here. Right, I've got a load of hiking sticks I've got to sand today. A couple custom orders in amongst that, so they've got to be done and they've got to be on their way this week, and I've got to get those there done. I've got another batch I want to start, but I've got to get everything together and my chainsaw after feeding the chickens and getting things sorted here because I'm logging. Right, I did actually get all my tools set up in the actual woodshed so that I don't have to mess about setting myself up. I can just come straight back and get on with it when I can get down here. So I'm at the point with that batch of sticks where sanding is now the order of the day, and yeah, I'm ready to go. But let's do these chickens. They've still got some food there. Right, here's a fair bit of it. That's what we had to take down. It's not an overly big tree, but it went up a fair way. I've got that to buck up and clean up. There's a lot of stuff that I won't take, but I've got to clean it up. And I think there's more down here. Right, this is the offending tree that we had to take down. You can see the stump, and it was going up and going across the roof. I did this as an emergency help for the farmer because he's getting on and he couldn't do it himself, and it was endangering his livestock and buildings. I would never have done it otherwise. It was probably a little bit beyond me. Never play around with chainsaws if you don't know what you're doing. I know a little bit about, or I'm reasonably confident, but it's not something I was truly happy with. But it's done now. I don't recommend anybody follow that course of action and say it. I'm actually going to say don't. But yeah, you can see the tree was rotted to the core, and it was literally bowing right across. I've got this part of it as well. That there came off it, and this. So I've got to get ready and start bucking it up and getting it out the way. And I've got an audience. Now, it may not look like a huge amount of wood, but it was a thin tree but went up quite a distance. You can see how high this shed is, and it was well above that. But yeah, I'm going to go get everything ready and start cleaning all this up. I'll make a pile of the wood, get rid of the debris, and then we can bring the wood down to mine at my leisure. Well, I've cut that up. That was down in the slurry pit there. That's being taken up and dropped off on my lawn. I've got to clear this bit up It's surprising how much wood there is here. Like I said, the tree was, it's about, I'm reckoning 50 to 60 centimeters, about that kind of diameter there. But it went up and it got quite spindly, and it was the weight of all the ivy and everything hanging off it which was doubling it over. It's hollow in the core, and that's why we had to get it down. It was going to take out his shed where his livestock go when it's rough weather. So as much as I didn't want to do it and didn't feel 100% comfortable about it, it was an emergency situation. Yeah, I won't be in a hurry to do anything. Well, I'm not going to do anything like that again. It taught me a valuable lesson, which I knew anyway, that leave stuff like that to the professionals. I don't mind cutting stuff up that's on the floor like this, but doing work at height and technical work where it's overhanging things and that, yeah, that's really the realm. No, that is the realm of the professionals. Don't do it. Like I said, it was just sheer emergency. We had a storm coming in and that was going to take his shed out. Right, let's crack on. And there, you can see what I mean. It's quite a diameter around. I put my hand there, and obviously it goes around there. But you can see it's hollow in the core. It was really only the ivy that was keeping it up. But I'm going to get all this cut up now. Right. There's a lot of wood there. Just got to get rid of all that ivy and stuff. Well, we've pretty much had all the wood we can get out of it. I've got a bit I've got to sort out when I get home, but the top bit is nothing but ivy. There's virtually nothing there, so that's really just, there's a fair bit of weight swinging in the wind. Well, that little job is done, and I'm heading off home, grab some dinner, and I've got to pick up obviously what's on the lawn. It will be brought down in the bucket once he's had his dinner and done whatever he's got to do. I've got all my stuff I got to do at home and what I got to do for the family before cracking on with anything else I got to do. So yeah, that's a successful little job. Although yeah, a lot of that wood, there is plenty of ivy. It will dry out and it will burn in the end. But yeah, back home.